Fucking hell, that was a bit rough, wasn't it?
Your turn.
That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Fucking love Shrek.
I know, Shrek's fucking boss. Rig Roast, the fucking boss.
I knew you were going to say that.
Sorry, I can't help it.
There we go. Okay, so welcome to episode 16 of the Wandering Women podcast.
Whoop whoop.
Happy birthday, sweet 16.
What? Oh, you're on about the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for that. Okay.
What else? That was your free sound effect. I actually don't know if I did one in the last one, so I might be able to sneak another one in.
Well, I just did Rig Roast, the fucking boss. Why is that not a sound effect?
Because
nobody knows who Rig Roast is.
we do.
Yeah, we do. We know Rick Ross personally.
Yes, we actually do.
He's a lot more boring in real life than you realise. Anyway, enough of Rick Ross.
The fucking boss. Anyway,
The fucking boss.
so Jess and I have found this thing called 100 Fun Questions to Ask Your Significant Other, and that will be
Yeah, we
this
just
podcast.
decided to do it and drink.
Yeah.
And the fucking questions are ridiculous.
They really are.
So we're just gonna, right, we've got fucking 45 minutes, because each of our podcasts are 45 minutes, right? And we're just gonna ask as many to each other as possible.
Yeah.
And drink.
Yeah, basically.
So we hope you enjoy it. Or this is not like our normal Wandering Women podcast. Usually we talk about very important things. That was with capital letters, if you didn't notice. And drink. But this time we're drinking and asking each other ridiculous questions for a bit of fun.
Yeah. Right, can I go first?
Oh, God. Yeah, that means you found a ridiculous one, doesn't it?
Quite possibly.
Go on, then.
Okay, which Disney princess do you find to be the most attractive?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, my God. I don't even know all the Disney princesses. Right, there's...
Mulan.
What?
Mulan. Mulan's a Disney
There's
princess.
Mulan. Is Jasmine one off Aladdin?
Yes, Jasmine.
I used to think she was beautiful. Oh, okay. So I'm getting fucking side-eye now over a Disney character.
She's meant to say none of them, only you.
Oh, you're not a Disney princess then? Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't fucking win.
Yes, I am.
Right. That's it. We're not. These are fucking. This is a trick question. This is. Fuck off.
Is it Jasmine?
I don't know the others. I know there's
Belle, Cinderella.
Who's Belle?
Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah, no, I don't even remember what she looks like.
Cinderella.
All I see is Emma Watson when you talk about Belle. Cinderella.
Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel.
Sleeping Beauty was asleep for most of it.
Fiona from Shrek. Oh no, that's DreamWorks. It's loads. But yeah, you went with
Yeah, because when I was
Princess
little,
Jasmine.
yeah, I just thought she was
Okay.
like amazing when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
So there. I used to like the way she walked. You know the way those cartoonists have drawn her.
Yeah. A lot of the Disney princesses walk like that though. It was pretty cool.
Walks with the right swag. Right. I've got to pick one off this list, right? And this list has got 100 things on it.
Go on then.
You're in prison with a life sentence. What was your crime? I just got the look. That look means I can't tell the truth.
Well, all the radical feminists listening to the podcast may have quite a good idea of what that might be. And should it not be that, those of you who have heard Julie Bindle's manifesto on what we should do with men, it might possibly be that.
What, you do life for that?
No, do you know what I would probably do life for?
I do life for killing a rapist.
Yeah, killing my... No, I can't say that. I can't say that.
No, you can't. You're right. Don't mean you're not thinking it, though.
No.
She's also not thinking it just for...
I'm not
for
thinking it.
legal
I don't even know
reasons.
what's going on. I'm just saying this to get listeners.
Yeah, she's just doing it for clout.
It's for clout. It's all for clout.
Anyway, you got to pick one. How did you-
Accidentally... What?
Have you not picked your crime yet?
Oh, no, I haven't
You
picked
just
my
went
crime.
through like 3 crimes, but then you're like, no,
I'm not allowed to say any of them. So it'd be for doing something stupid, like, I don't know, accidentally, driving down a bus lane too many times.
Life, Jamie, life.
Yeah, and then I'd just piss everybody off, being like, nah, it's not a bus lane. And they'd be like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, do you know what, Jamie? Fuck off.
You're a shit liar, baby.
You've got a shit Twitter. We're putting you in prison.
You're probably more likely to do live for your Twitter account than that.
If you were president for a day, what one thing would you change about the country that should be prime minister?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What? I can only change one thing.
Mm.
And I'm only prime minister for a day.
Mm.
And I can only do one thing in that day.
Yep. That's
out
what
of all the other things.
Jessica, you know that is what the question says.
I would just take all of the money out of shitty, stupid, fucking vanity project bullshit, and then I would just like literally lift it all out of one account and shove it in like welfare and NHS account. That's what I do. That if I had one day and they had to keep
there.
the chain, yeah, I know the money's fucking there. I would just like slam it all in there, and then I would like protect it, and I would make it so that nobody could reverse it, and then I'd be like, okay, done, bye bye.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Oh, now I get to ask you one.
Yes.
What was your first tape or CD, and when did you get it?
My first tape. I had nursery rhymes on a tape. That's really fucking boring, isn't it?
Do you not know? Like, you know, I think these questions mean what was the first one you had, like,
as in I bought
or received as a gift, like, you know,
loads.
like where it's like, so like I know what mine is. Mine was Michael Jackson. It was. That's the answer to the question.
Does it count if it was on pirate copy because we couldn't afford CDs?
Yeah, all of ours were pirated.
Yeah.
Go on, what was yours?
Avril Lavigne's Under My Skin album.
I had that pirated.
Same.
Yay!
I loved it. Yeah. Okay. What skills do you possess that could help you survive the zombie apocalypse?
Oh my god. What skills do I already possess that would help me survive in a zombie apocalypse? Okay, well, I have anxiety.
I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, which I think is a skill. Like, it makes you hypervigilant. And it also makes you hypersensitive. And it sort of means that... So, for example, research shows that people with anxiety have less car crashes and they're less likely to get involved in serious accidents because as somebody that's anxious a lot, you tend to be a lot more safety focused and a lot more hypervigilant. You make a lot less mistakes because you second guess yourself all the time. So, like, I would hope that would help me in a zombie apocalypse. I'm also... I have a really interesting type of temper where if I need to use it, then I can. And I would hope that would help in a zombie apocalypse as well. And I'm also a very, very logical, practical thinker. I'm not a very emotional thinker. So I think that I could like make really difficult decisions to be like, nah, fuck them. Save yourselves.
You're complete opposite.
I know you are. Like, we are complete opposites. You're a full empath and I'm just not.
Well, you're int J and I'm nth J. So two of them are the exact same and two of them are
the opposite of each other. Yeah. So if you do, it's Myers-Briggs, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you do Myers-Briggs, I'm female int J, which is like the rarest. It's the rarest like cluster that you can get. So male int J is rare, but then female int J is super rare, and it basically means that we're like very logical, very, I don't know, like intellectual, and then sort of, what's the word? And then the J stands for judgment, so it means we're more judgmental.
No, I is introverted.
Oh, of course.
E is extroverted.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, is that most people would put me as an extrovert, but I genuinely, naturally, am not an extrovert. I don't do well around loads of people. I can deal with it, and I can put a face on. Yeah, I don't get... So they claim, don't they, that extroversion is where you get energy from people.
Yeah, and that's
I don't.
totally me.
People sap my energy.
I'm
They
complete
really do.
opposite.
I know, you are. Okay, I'm going to pick another one for you.
Yeah.
If you had to spend the rest of your life as a tree, what kind of tree do you want to be?
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking shit. I'd be a palm tree, obviously, somewhere nice.
Oh my god, as if you know the answer. If you would have asked me that would have taken me like 5 minutes to answer.
I would obviously be a palm tree in, like, Trinidad and Tobago or somewhere nice like that.
That's a really nice answer. Have you picked one for me?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh my god, that's... The one below is awful. Have you ever thrown up in a car?
Have I ever thrown up in a car? No. Fucking no, you have. Out of the window. If I remember
Not just
rightly.
the window. Thrown up in so many taxis.
Oh my god, no. Do you know what? I have never thrown up in a car. But that's partially because I don't do throwing up. When I'm ill, I can feel very sick, but I don't do the throwing up bit.
What about when you're drunk?
The last time I threw up when I was drunk, I was 20. So I can get... Right, okay, so to begin, I would say, I actually don't get proper drunk. You know I don't. So I can have, like, a glass of wine, and as soon as I start feeling a bit tipsy, I'm like, fuck this, I'm off to bed. And I've been like that since in my early 20s, so I don't do the whole being sick thing. Does that mean I get to pick you one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one's interesting. There's so many. If you had to choose to live without one of your 5 senses, which one would you give up?
Smell.
Smell?
Yep.
What? How do you know the answers to these so quick?
Because I'm anxious and I think about ridiculous scenarios all the time. And
You've thought about that?
Yeah.
I don't have time for this sort of shit.
I'm right. Do you know why I'm so confident in that? I am so anxious that when I used to think about that question, I used to think, oh my god, I'd hate to have like my hearing or my sight taken away. Oh my god. And I thought, hang on, smell is a sense. Obviously, I would choose smell.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, did you know that if you lose your sense of smell, you can also lose your sense of taste? Because a lot of taste and smell is connected.
Yeah, but like I would keep that over touch, sight, and
yeah,
and listening, whatever. What's that? Hearing. Fuck knows. Who was your first celebrity crush?
Oh god, I actually know the answer to this.
Go on.
Oh no, hang on a minute.
Oh my! Sometimes I just have flashbacks and I think, Jamie, why the fuck didn't you know you were a lesbian so much younger?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just thinking then, because the first thing that came to my head was... oh god, this is so complicated for me because I definitely fancied loads of like female celebrities, but I wouldn't have known at the time that I fancied them.
Yeah.
You just think that you want to be them, or that you just think they're super, super amazing.
Or you just want to cuddle them in
bed. Or you
bed.
just think they're beautiful. So the one that comes to mind is Rachel Stevens from S Club 7. So do not spit your fucking wine out. Do not spit your wine out over Rachel Stevens from S Club 7. I've just put fresh bedding on you, prick. Is that her name, Rachel Stevens?
Yes, it was it Rachel Stevens? I'm not allowed to say. No, I wasn't being stalked. I was doing the stalking. A little This Country reference, just
fucking
in case.
Love This Country. If you've not seen it, you need to go fucking watch it.
Yeah, seriously, watch This Country. It's on BBC iPlayer.
And then when you finish watching This Country, you should just fucking watch it again.
Yeah, I've watched it so many times. Rachel Stevens. Fucking hell.
Oh god, I hope that never surfaces.
Do you know who mine was?
Go on.
Lara Croft.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Do I get to ask you one now?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many here. This one, oh my gosh, there's so many. If you could be on the cover of one magazine, which one would you choose?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's whether you're thinking seriously or not. So, like, you remember? I don't know if you. I used to buy well, I didn't because magazines are fucking expensive as fuck. But sometimes I used to have the Toxic magazine.
What's Toxic?
It was called Toxic, and it was just had cool. It was a boys' magazine, really. But it wasn't. You'd never have a person on the cover. But I'd love to be on the fucking cover of that because why fucking not?
What's the magazine about?
Just it was just a kids' magazine.
Oh,
but it was like boys. So you had like sometimes you got like cool pens or like slime or just cool shit like that.
I would have fucking killed to be on the front cover of Girl Talk or Ms when I was a kid.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be.
But when I was a kid,
for
not
serious,
now.
I'd like to be on like.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it? If a fucking 30-year-old was on the front cover of that.
I'd be on like, I don't know, like one of the more chic magazines, and like talking about politics.
Yeah, like Time magazine or something.
Yeah, I'd love to be on the cover of
GQ. Like Time's better though, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd probably go with that one.
Cool.
I'd be like talking about politics.
Oh fucking hell!
I'm not doing that one.
Thank God.
What 2 things would you do if you woke up to find yourself completely invisible?
Oh, completely invisible.
Mm-hmm.
What? Like forever or just for the day?
I assume just for the day because you can only do 2 things.
You can only do 2 things.
Mm.
But you're invisible.
Yes.
Oh, this is a good one.
Answer it then.
Oh wow. Right. I'm not even going to pretend it's like that. I'm going to do anything decent with this superpower. I would fucking poltergeist the fuck out of people for a day. I would target people that I just didn't like and just poltergeist them.
Yeah. And one more thing.
What? No, that is my thing.
No, you get 2 things.
I'd pick 2 people.
Oh, well, you got to say the 2 people then.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Bollocks.
You don't have to name them, but you've got to describe who they are.
People don't like.
Is one of them. And the other one.
Yeah, I'd love to do that actually.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Just like, imagine how much you can fuck with people.
Yeah, I'd do the same.
Because if you've only got it for a day, see, if you had it for much longer, you'd think of something elaborate and something really useful.
Yeah.
If you've got it for a day, then you could just move shit around and terrify people. It'd be brilliant. That'd be great. Okay, ready?
Yes.
I know the look you're going to shoot at me as soon as this comes out of my mouth, so I'm going to say it and I'm just not going to look at you.
Go on.
Describe the worst haircut you've ever had. Can't even finish it.
What?
Describe the worst haircut you've ever had.
I don't even want to tell. Because it was... So, looking back now...
Looking back.
God. Beautiful.
It was, wasn't it? I was going to say over your shoulder, but your hair wasn't that long.
So, I used to really fancy Frankie from the Saturdays. And I was sort of toying with, having the same haircut as her. Suggested to my hairdresser. And I just sort of was thinking, I wonder how long it would take to grow back if I didn't like it. And he just fucking cut a chunk out of my hair at the height of my ear on one side. And I just, I was young. I was like 13. And he just fucking cut it all off, and I just was like, oh my god. Oh, my poor hair.
Didn't you tell me it was like proper short at one side? It was like cropped.
It was like there on one side.
Yeah, it was like cropped at one side, right?
Yeah, it was an asymmetrical haircut that Frankie from the Saturdays used to have.
Yeah.
And I had a big, massive, long emo fringe on one side that went sort of to, like, not quite to my chin, and the other side was above my ear.
Yeah, like all cut up, yeah.
It was like, well, yeah, it was like a messy, asymmetrical sort of thing. And yeah, and that's the worst haircut that I ever had. It took a lot of fucking styling every day. I got called a lesbian for a long time, which probably made me reject lesbianism longer.
Yeah. How long did it take for it to grow out? Like, to the point where you were like, oh, thank God it doesn't look like that anymore?
2 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Which is a long time whilst you're in high school.
Yeah, no, God, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah. What is one thing you refuse to share?
Ew, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, it's
one thing that I refuse to share. I do have an issue with sharing treats. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but she doesn't have an issue sharing other people's.
No, I have a real thing with it where you know when you've gone to the shop and you think I'm gonna get myself that particular treat, and it's like some crisps that you love, like your favourite fucking crisps, or like some chocolate, like your favourite chocolate, and then like someone sits next to you and like, oh, can I have some? And you're like, no, and they're like, oh, I only want a little bit. Like, I don't care. Like, this is my little treat, or a big treat. Fuck knows, or 2 treats. I don't give a shit. But they're mine. And if you want your own, I bought you your own, and they're in the cupboard. And
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I think how many treats I get you every time we go supermarket, and I'm like, oh, like these are my treats, these are your treats, and then you still sit next to me being like, babe, can I have some of that? And in fact, no, you don't. You go, I'm just stealing one of these. Stealing.
Right.
Like,
sorry, whose Pringles did you just eat half of?
Yeah. Because you ate my fucking Pringles.
No, I didn't. I didn't even like your favourite Pringles.
It didn't stop you from eating them.
Fuck off.
Okay, I'm going to ask you
I knew you were going to say that.
Treats. It's got to be treats, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you get then you're like, it's like we've been together ages and you're still shocked that I give you one. You have your own. I'm not like this with anything else. just if I've got myself a special treat, it's my treat.
Yeah.
I'm like how Castro is with her treats.
No, she would share her treats.
Would she fuck?
She would.
She's hidden one from this morning, the one that was hidden under your pillow that you slept on all night.
If you put your head near where she's eating a treat, she moves out of the way so you can eat some. Because I taught her to do it so that she wasn't greedy.
Oh, you're so cute.
Sometimes she tries to buy you if it's something she really likes.
I'm gonna
I miss her. She's stopping at Grandma's tonight.
She is, because we're in the middle of a fuck off tattoo session.
Yeah.
So Jaimi had 6 hours on a tattoo today in one go.
Woo!
And then I've got 6 hours of a tattoo tomorrow, which will be fun. Although I've had longer tattoos than Jaimi, so it doesn't bother me as much. She was quite anxious, but you did amazing. Like proper, like just sat through it.
Yeah.
And was playing Animal Crossing for a lot of it, and then went on her phone. So it was fine. Anyway, am I asking you one now?
Yes.
Oh, cool. There's a question, sorry, I'm not going to ask it yet. Well, there's a question on it that says, would you let me slap you for $100? Like, no, what the fuck? Why is that? Okay, that is the normalisation of domestic violence. This is called, can I just say, this is called 100 fun questions to ask your significant other.
Why is that
And then
fun?
just embedded in there is like, can I hit you in the face? You know what I mean?
Like, no.
Like,
and I'm sorry,
fuck?
but...
$100?
Right, but if $100 is enough for a slap in the face, you need to be voting for a different fucking government who will increase your pay.
Oh my God, the one underneath it says, would you dress in drag for $100? I know, yeah. Tumbleweed. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? That's like when you go on training and someone makes you do an intro.
I once saw an advert for... It was a new Kinder product, and it was like a Kinder egg, but it was like It was like the like gooey stuff with like 2 little cute little chocolate wafer things in it, and it was called... They described it as a delicious spoonable treat. And I would describe myself as delicious spoonable treat.
I know you didn't. No, you fucking didn't.
No, I'm joking. I would.
That's
delicious spoonable treat.
That's amazing. That's it. That's what's getting like written on your birthday cards and everything forever now.
Yeah, only by you. No, I would say...
I'm gonna fucking hack your phone and change your Twitter name to that.
I took a photo of that, the advertisement, saying it was like a delicious spoonable treat, and I like took a photo and put when you're trying to update your Tinder bio.
You're alright, you're
no, I would say opinionated, emotional. No, maybe like emotional / empath. Critical.
They're good words.
Are they?
I think so. And they're accurate. Yeah. Although you did miss off Mardy.
I am not Mardy.
Oh no, hang on a minute. That fits under emotional. Doesn't it? Because this is one of your many emotions.
I am very emotional.
Mardy. If your mum was here, she'd be backing me up.
Yes, she would.
And she'd be going, "You are, Jaimi, you're mad." Okay, you've got to pick one now.
Right, okay. So, let's have a look through this excellent list. What is...
I don't want to know, do I?
What is the strangest thing you have ever eaten?
The strangest thing I've ever eaten?
Yes.
Well, this is probably some fucking... That's...
Findus lasagna.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever at a Findus anything.
Good, because you're eating horse.
So the strangest thing I ever eaten.
You can't say me.
You're not strange. You're definitely not the strangest thing I've ever eaten. Trust. I'm trying to think if I've ever ate anything that's like not edible. First of all, because that would be strange. Okay, so I think my answer has got to be that in the 90s and also up to the present day, although it's slightly less present because I don't live with my dad anymore, but when I was a kid, especially in the 90s, and I lived with my dad, Dad went through a phase where he would just pick things from forests and get us to eat them. And like, I genuinely mean that, the way that just came out of my mouth. So we'd just be walking along and he'd just like pick a mushroom off the floor and be like, "Oh, cool, this is a mushroom." And then he'd get his little book out. So he used to carry this book round that he got from a fucking Stapley Water Gardens or something. And it had mushrooms in it, and it was a mushroom guide. Anyway, over the years, Dad got more and more obsessed with mushroom picking, and everywhere we went, he picked mushrooms, and then he'd take us all home, and then he'd cook them in a pan, and then we all had to try them. And I have ate so many different kinds of fucking weird mushrooms from forests as a kid. I'm surprised I'm not dead or really, really fucked up, and that might explain a lot. And then he also does the same with leaves and plants. So sometimes he'll just be walking down a fucking country road and he'll pick some leaves off a bush and he'll go, "These are edible, you know, Jess." And I'll be like, "Right, and he'll be like, "Go on, taste them." And I'm like, "Dad, you just picked that off a bush." And I'll be like, "No, taste it." And do you know what? Fucking 99% of the time he's bang on. Isn't he? Because he made you eat some leaves.
And they tasted like garlic.
Yeah, because they were garlic leaves that he picked from the side of a river. And he just knows, like, that's just what he's like. So those are the weirdest things I've ate, is that pretty much every single fucking time I've seen my dad, he's made me eat something weird from a fucking forest or from
Yeah,
some
but
trees.
that was cool, though, and the boys loved it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm just saying, like, there is a point in your life, like, where, you know, it's not normal to have to say to your dad for, like, the 4,000th time, "Dad, I don't want to eat that. You've just picked that off the floor." That's not normal, is it? And then there was that time where he got really poisonous.
When we move to the new house, we'll be right near them.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh!
There was this one time where he picked really poisonous mushrooms, and he got home and cooked them all the way through. And then when my mum and dad were still together, and my mum was like, "Gary, I think they're poisonous," and he was like, "No, they're not. The fine. I've checked them in the book." And then literally a couple of minutes before he fed them to us, he reread the book and he was like, "Oh no, yeah, they're deadly." And we were good at. I watched him cook them in the kitchen, and we were about to eat them, and Dad was like, "Oh no, yeah, no, they're poisonous." So yeah, like that's my answer to that interesting question.
Excellent,
Cool.
excellent.
I will pick one for you. What is your guilty pleasure?
I'm not allowed to tell you that.
You're not allowed to tell me?
No, I'm joking.
Well, you're not allowed to tell the listeners.
My guilty pleasure.
Pick one that's not naughty then. Have you got one of those weird guilty pleasures that some people have?
Yeah, I do.
Don't look at me like that.
Um,
You know, like how people be like, "Oh, my guilty pleasure's like, I don't know, watching reruns
I
of
was going to
Friends."
say, I was just about to say that exact thing, but I
No, you
don't
were not.
But I don't feel guilty about it because
No,
I
you
fucking
don't.
love Friends.
Yeah.
What's my guilty pleasure?
Mine's Charmed. And
feel-
Ghost Whisperer.
I don't feel guilty about like things like that though.
And when I was younger, my guilty pleasure used to be Jeremy Kyle. Much younger. Because I stopped watching it when I started training to be a psychologist, and I started to realise how exploitative and terrible it was.
Guilty pleasure. Goading people on social media. Yeah, sorry, it's goading people on social media. If you think that I'm goading you, I probably am.
Yeah, that's so true. I always think that about myself. It's like, if you ever read a tweet and you think, "Is she fucking goading someone?" I am.
Okay, do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
Oh.
Why the fuck would I believe in Bigfoot? Yeah, no. The answer to that, sorry, that's a really quick one. No, I don't.
Oh.
I think people are just... I think there must have been something at some point, like just something boring and big, like a bear or something boring, and then like people have just got a bit... They've just got away with themselves, and it's become this huge tourist industry. And then, you know, it's like people expect to see it, so that's what they think they've seen. You know, like ghosts, right? How come everyone who sees a fucking ghost, the ghost's always dressed as if they lived between the 1700s and the late 1900s?
Maybe
It's like, why do you never see a ghost
but maybe
that's
there was
dressed like a
only-
chav holding a Game Boy?
Yeah, but maybe there was only like so many ghost spaces.
Spaces, yeah.
And then now they're
And
just
then
like,
they're all
oh
full up.
shit, come on, move along. They're like, nah, we're haunting still. And they're like,
I've been here
Oh,
400
come on.
fucking years and I'm not done. So you young ghosts can fuck off. Just
and
go
they're like,
somewhere
oh,
else.
fucking great.
Well, that's what I mean, right? So people go, "Oh yeah, I saw a ghost, and it's a ghost of a woman, and she looks like she's from the Victorian times." How come no one's being like, "Oh, she's in a shell suit and she's got a perm"?
Because they all went straight to hell. Or heaven. Who
That's what
knows?
interests me, though, is that like when you think you're going to see something, that's what you see, innit? And that's why like people see the same ghost over and over and over again. They're like, "Oh, it was from a Tudor time." Yeah, of course it fucking was. Like, no one, you know, they're not seeing ghosts in double denim, are they? So, like, it's like there's almost like an era missing. Maybe people from the future will see ghosts from now. Do you know what I mean? With, like, big eyebrows and fake tan and, like, you know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, yeah, look just like them ghosts in... all them youngsters from 2017. I've got to ask you one.
Yes. Make it a good one. Just in case anyone heard that was my belly making a weird noise.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you could go back in time 1,000 years, so like up to 1,000 years, what year would you visit and why? So you've got a span of up to, what, 1920? No, it's 100 years. What a dick.
Oh, shit.
1020. Fucking hell, that is far. I don't even know what was around in 1020. Nothing, I imagine. Some people.
I would actually go to, just to see what it was like. I'd like to see what the Roaring Twenties were like in America.
Oh, the 1920s?
Yeah,
in America?
Roaring 20s.
No, absolutely. That would be fucking cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
I fucking love like all of those outfits and shit and...
What they call flappers.
Yeah, flapper girls.
Flappers. What does that even mean?
It's because their outfits, like I think it's that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Like the outfits and like the way they used to dance and like minus the racism. It does look
glam as fuck.
Yeah, it does.
And just like really fun and cool.
Yeah, I'd love to go to. Have you ever read The Great Gatsby?
No.
Or seen it?
Yeah, seen it several times. Yeah.
So I actually read this thing and it was like, Gatsby hosting parties in the hope that one person, like Daisy, will turn up, is the modern day equivalent. Well, is like the equivalent of posting something on your Snapchat story for one person to see. Yeah, probably the 1920s, just because I'm interested. It was a really interesting time, like around the wars and like lots of different. There was just a lot going on.
Yeah, there was. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, have you got one for me?
Yes.
Oh God. Why do you keep picking the fucking awful ones?
It's not awful.
Oh, thank God.
It's not awful. Okay. If you found out that you were the direct descendant of a king or queen, would you go and find them and claim your throne, or keep your life as it was?
Oh, that's such a fucking interesting one.
Yes, I know.
Right, it would depend, yeah, because if I felt like I'd have enough money and power to actually make a difference, I'd go get the power.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, say, for example, I did a bit of background research and it turned out that if I did claim that power, I would get access to, like, a ton of resources, money and power, and then I would actually be able to change some shit up, then, yeah, fuck yeah, I would go and do it, right? Just for the fact that I think that if you get given that amount of power, you should do something with it. However, I wouldn't do it just for the sake of it. So if I thought for a moment...
Yeah, but with money comes power anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can use it. So, like, Princess Diana tried to use her power, they fucking killed her. Like, so, like, just... I'm sorry. But, like, that's what happens sometimes, is that some people try and use their power for good, and they get silenced, they get shut up, they get fucking bumped off. All sorts of things happen. And that's what I would be looking at, would be like, right, so if I am the descendant of these people, what are the chances of them doing something, you know, like, or like even letting me use that power for good or not? That would be my deciding factor, I think. Yeah. Interestingly, I am technically a descendant of the royal family, but not in a good way. You know, my nana did our family tree. And our family on Nana's side comes from an affair with one of the dukes, like quite like long ago. So there was a duke under the king or something like that at the time in England.
They expect that about 50% of the UK are related to the royal family.
Oh, that's
because
so
of the amount of affairs that they had.
Yeah, so Nana,
back in the day.
Yeah, so Nana did our family tree. And it's not that far back. It is a couple hundred years, or maybe I don't know, maybe 300 years. I'd have to ask her. And she did all the like proof and all whatever it was. It took her years to do it. And she found that our family are from an affair with this really, really senior member of the royal family. And it was the woman who worked, I think it was either as a maid or in the kitchens, and she got pregnant. And she was in serious shit, and he actually paid her off to disappear and go and have the baby somewhere else. And then it's on records that it's his.
Really?
And that's how Nana found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I know. It's so weird.
Cool.
So fuck knows what that makes me. Didn't Danny Dyer turn out to be fucking related to the fucking royal family?
Yeah, they reckon that about 50% of the UK population...
50%, so 1 in 2 of us fucking shagged enough people, didn't they?
There was just, well, think about it back then, though, where the population was
50%?
much smaller. But think about it, when the population was much smaller, and there wasn't contraception, and, like, people were shagging about...
Yeah.
And the royals could shag whoever they wanted to.
Yeah, true.
So,
I have, let's see where we are with the time. See whether we have time for, I wanted to ask you, if you could deliver a speech to the entire world, what would you say?
It would be about how a fairer society would benefit all of us. Because a fairer society would bring about more psychological safety, and psychological safety means happiness.
Do you think, though, that a fairer society, whether people that are already very well off through exploiting and capitalising on people would even want a fairer society?
I think a lot wouldn't, but most people would. Like...
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, if you were to say to, like, a really rich person who's got all their money from exploitation, if you were to say, well, in 3 years, your business is going to go under and you're going to be left penniless, wouldn't you prefer to be in a society that looks after everybody so that you can still live a happy and fulfilling life?
Mm-hmm.
If everybody had access to healthcare, housing, and, like, leisure facilities, it's a society that everybody would want to grow old in.
I really wish people fucking thought like that, honestly. It's so basic.
We owe so much to people growing old in this society, and we need to make sure that people who can't go anywhere now in life because, they're too old or they don't have the facilities, that they need to be able to enjoy their life.
Yeah, I know.
Whether that's having access to, like, a leisure centre or, like,
transport, support.
Yeah, just something.
Health.
It would just make society happier. And isn't that the point of, like, human life, is to just be happy?
I think it definitely is scary to think about getting older, and I don't mean that from just being like, oh no, I'm getting older, but I mean more about the way that we just dismiss, erase, and just stop looking after the elderly, and, like, we sort of shut them away in homes, and the services are shit, the healthcare is shit. It is really worrying, to the point where my sister, who's an A&E nurse, she just, I remember her contacting me and Mum, about a year or two ago, and was just like, I have decided that I don't want to get to that age. She wants to have voluntary, what's it called? Voluntary euthanasia, where you go to, like, where is it? No, Sweden, Norway. I can't remember where it is. And you go to that clinic and, like, it's like you choose to die at a particular age. And I was like, oh my God. But she was like, fuck getting old, man. She's like, people do not look after them. They're so unwell. And, like, people, like, discriminate against them. And the systems are awful. The care isn't there. I remember just, like, she said this to me at, like, 23. And I just was like, Becky, like, I don't think you're going to feel like that forever. And she was like, fucking do. It's terrifying.
Yeah, and that's why we need to have a society where we don't fear getting old.
Yeah, I know.
Because people are anxious. And then people end up going out for themselves and themselves only. Whereas if we had a society that all looked after each other, we wouldn't fear old age. And we would be able to bring about a better society in every way possible, like technological advancement, education advancement.
I think it's about fearing vulnerability. Yeah, it's not just fearing old age, is it? It's fearing, like, so for example, if you suddenly became very ill tomorrow, or you had an accident and, you couldn't walk anymore, or you became, I don't know, blind and you needed significant support. I think it's the fear of vulnerability, because you know that you live in a system and you live in a society that doesn't place importance on those lives.
Yeah, a lot of capitalists say that competition creates the best, but I don't agree. I think that it for most people it stops people. For some people it does, but they're the privileged few.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, anyway.
That was fun. That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was. Got quite deep at the end, and I could talk loads about that. But as usual, we've run out of time. So thanks for listening.